Here are your General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. Willow finds herself in a whole lot of trouble, and it's all her own doing. Nobody told her to do all the awful and destructive things she has done in the last year that would make her a prime suspect in Drew's shooting. However, she seems both surprised and ungrateful when Alexis pays a visit to Pentonville in the role of Willow's new lawyer. Perhaps Alexis owes her this since she kept Willow's other lawyer locked in her basement for a month. Either way, Willow does not seem happy to see Alexis, so the attorney tells her that if she doesn't want her there, she can just go. Is it possible that Willow will do something smart and accept Alexis' help? Drew might have gotten Willow a lawyer, but that doesn't mean he's not done trying to frame Michael. In fact, when he runs into Jacinda at Bobby's, he threatens to turn Michael's alibi in if she doesn't cooperate with him. As for Michael, he surprises Chase when he tells his friend that Chase doesn't know Willow as well as he thinks he does. Will Michael mention that he thinks it was Willow who was stalking Sasha and Daisy? Would Chase even believe him since he thinks Willow is pure as the driven snow? Sonny was honest with Gio and told him that Lois was there and he needed to come home. Surprisingly, Gio listens and does as he is told. He knows this won't be an easy conversation, but he decides to grin and bear it anyway. Gio admits that he feels betrayed by Brooklyn and Dante, but Lois doesn't understand why. They didn't even know he was their son, and Dante didn't even know he had another son. Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching! So let's dive into today's video. Several partnerships were made on the October 22nd episode of General Hospital. Sonny agreed to facilitate a meeting between Lois and their mutual grandson, Gio, who joined Emma to plan their next move on her professor. And Carly collaborated with Valentin to take down Brennan. Plus, Jack questioned Nathan about his memory loss. Anna wanted to know what Britt knew about her father, and Tracy moved into Lulu's house. Lois was back in Port Charles and dropped by to see Sonny, seeking his help repairing the relationship between Gio and Brooklyn. She also wanted an update on Gio and was happy to hear that her grandson had moved in with Sonny, but sad that he'd dropped out of school and still wasn't playing the violin. When Sonny explained that Gio now associated music with all the lies he'd been told, Lois bemoaned that her daughter and grandson, the two people she loved the most, were hurting because of her actions. That was why she needed Sonny to get her and Gio in the same room together, so she could explain that she was the one to blame for everything. Sonny warned Lois that there was no guarantee that talking to Gio would fix his relationship with Brooklyn. Emma gave Jocelyn the cold shoulder outside of Bobby's, rolling her eyes at another round of warnings from her rival to stay away from Professor Dalton. Emma declared she was going to take full advantage of having the position Jocelyn gave up, so Joss dug in her heels, saying that Emma had no idea what the professor was really doing. When Emma questioned why Joss was so convinced Dalton was bad, Joss flashed back to her conversation with Brennan when he first assigned her to work undercover at PCU to get intel on Dalton's research. Before she could reply to Emma, Joss received a text message. She tossed out a final, "Don't say I didn't warn you," before taking off. Inside the diner, Brooklyn treated Ronnie to breakfast to apologize for her grandmother's behavior the day before. As Ronnie mixed herself a hangover concoction, they filled Gio in on what went down at the tea party, including Ronnie's belief that Tracy had drugged her and how she'd then evicted Tracy. Gio praised Ronnie, commenting that it was important to set boundaries, so people didn't walk all over you, but his statement stung Brooklyn. Emma entered and grumbled to Gio about Jocelyn's latest warning, while he wondered if maybe Joss had a good reason for saying what she did. Emma figured Joss probably just wanted her job back. Emma added that the conversation reminded her that they need to resume their scheme to expose Dalton, especially since Anna has been distracted lately. Gio made Emma promise that they would do it together, and they sealed their partnership with a kiss. Gio broke away to answer a call from Sonny, who wanted him to come home after his shift because Lois was there, and it was important that he speak with her. On Sonny's side of the phone call, Lois looked hopeful, but Gio seemed unsure if he wanted to sit down with his grandmother. Meanwhile, Ronnie told Brooklyn that Gio had shared their history with her and suggested that he was trying to figure out how to make sense of being part of the Quartermain family. She added that she gave Gio an open invitation to come back to the house, and Brooklyn stated that she had an idea how to get him to the house. Smiling at the sight of Gio and Emma kissing across the diner, Brooklyn revealed to Ronnie that she could have Emma come visit Outback at the Quartermain stables, hoping that Gio would tag along. "Not bad," Ronnie chuckled in approval. "I guess you really are Tracy's granddaughter." Following her fight with Ronnie, Tracy crashed on Lulu's couch, and she wasn't happy to be woken up by noisy teenagers Charlotte and Rocco. When Charlotte laughed upon hearing that Tracy had been kicked out of the mansion, Lulu chastised her daughter for being disrespectful to their guest. After the kids exited, Lulu told Tracy she was welcome to stay as long as she'd like, but if she couldn't handle living with the teens, perhaps she should consider finding another place to stay. Mad that she was homeless to begin with, Tracy defended herself, insisting that Ronnie set her up and was hiding something. Certain that Monica wouldn't have disinherited Michael for a sister she hadn't spoken to in decades, Tracy again proclaimed that the will had been forged. Playing devil's advocate, Lulu pointed out that Michael didn't need more money or a demonstration of Monica's love, but maybe Monica felt that Ronnie needed both. Outside on the porch, Rocco urged Charlotte to take it easy on Tracy, considering she'd just lost Monica, then her home. Admitting that she had been harsh on Tracy, Charlotte claimed she was still jet-lagged and cranky after visiting her father. Charlotte told her brother how weird it was to see her dad in a creepy prison, and he told her about his dinner with his other family. Just as Charlotte relayed to Rocco Valentin'S warning that they should not trust Britt, a moving truck pulled up to the house. The kids interrupted Lulu and Tracy's conversation when they brought the first few boxes containing Tracy's belongings inside the house, and their mom wasn't thrilled to see a giant moving truck parked in her driveway. Outside Anna's office, Britt was on the phone with Elizabeth, sharing that she was going to be late for work because she'd been detained. When Anna arrived, they entered the office, and she handed Britt a bill for the resources the PCPD had spent investigating her supposed death. In exchange for feeding the file to the shredder, Anna wanted to know who assisted Britt in faking her death, what she was doing at the Five Poppies, and who oversaw the project. Calling Anna's bluff that the commissioner didn't actually have evidence linking the resort to activity in Port Charles, Britt made moves to leave. But before she got to the door, Anna explained how she was the one who pointed Jason to the Five Poppies to rescue Britt and argued that she was trying to help her, not take her down. Angry, Britt shouted that she hadn't needed rescuing and snarked that she'd been working in a lab at the Five Poppies, developing an exfoliating scrub with peptides. Frustrated, Anna added another fee to Britt's bill for toxicology reports, but offered to settle for the name of Britt's boss. At that, Britt flashed back to the day she received vials of medicine from C. Returning to her present conversation, Britt named Pascal as her boss, but Anna knew he was just the middleman. Despite the commissioner pressing for the leader's name, Britt remained silent. Then, a worried Anna brought up Cesar Faison, and when Britt diverted her gaze, Anna asked if he was still alive and running the Five Poppies. Blowing up, Britt yelled that her father's name had been a blight on her entire life, and now she was at risk of losing her job because Anna wanted to ask her questions about a dead man. As Britt shut down the conversation, Anna warned her that staying silent was only making her vulnerable. After slamming Anna's office door on her way out, a distressed Britt exhaled once she was alone in the hallway. Jack invited Nathan to the WSB office and demanded to know if the back from the dead detective had anything to do with Faison's syndicate, which he believed to still be in operation. Nathan took offense when Jack offered immunity for sharing what he knew. Claiming that Faison was no father to him, a ticked-off Nathan told Jack that Anna would vouch that he'd help if he could. Warning Brennan that he didn't appreciate being pushed around, Nathan stormed out. Later, Jack showed Jocelyn's security camera footage of his conversation with Nathan. While she didn't think Nathan had anything to do with Faison, Jocelyn did bring up the conversation she'd had with Anna about Faison at the Brown Dog the previous evening. Brennan thought Anna was jumping at shadows, but considering the relationship she'd had with Faison, he didn't want to discount her concerns. 2 of Faison's dead children show up in Port Charles, suddenly alive, while we're investigating Faison's last project. That's not a coincidence, That's all connected, somehow, Jack declared. With Spinelli's help, Carly gained access to Steinmauer by posing as Valentin's lawyer, Barbara Saunders, and pushed the guard to leave the room so she could speak with her client privately. Valentin commended her on her forged credentials, but wondered why she went to such an extreme, since Jack could have gotten her in. Revealing that Jack, Sonny, and Jason were all unaware that she'd traveled to Switzerland to see him, Carly asked Valentin if he wanted to help her take down Brennan. When Valentin correctly guessed that Jack had done something to one of her children, Carly divulged that Jocelyn had been recruited as a WSB agent. Valentin's explanation that some recruits are convinced that they want to join the agency because they are exploited during a traumatic time led Carly to piece together that Dex's murderer, Cyrus Renaud, disappeared right around the time that Jocelyn left town. She was horrified when Valentin indicated that perhaps Jocelyn, and not Brennan, was the one responsible for Renaud's vanishing act. Since the WSB often uses personal vendettas to test new recruits, Valentin mused, Brennan may have pointed Joss in Cyrus's direction to see how far she'd be willing to go to avenge Dex's death. Are you telling me that the man I was falling in love with turned my daughter into a killer? Carly cried. Furious that her boyfriend likely involved Jocelyn in Cyrus's death, Carly was more determined than ever to get Jack out of her daughter's life before something worse happened. Proposing that they work together to take Brennan down, Valentin told Carly that she was Brennan's weakness, and therefore, the one thing that could destroy him. Were you surprised to see Carly and Valentin teaming up? Do you think that Lois will get through to Gio? Will Britt crack and tell Anna what she knows? And is Nathan really in the dark? Share your theories and predictions about GH in the comments below. On the Thursday, October 23rd, episode of General Hospital, spoilers tease that Christina does some digging. What is she trying to find out? Does it have to do with Rick to make sure he doesn't seek revenge against her, her mother Alexis and Ava? Or does it have to do with something else entirely? Cody meets his new boss, Ronnie. He developed a great relationship with Tracy while working at the Quartermain stables. Will he get along with the new owner? I've always had a weakness for cowboys, Ronnie tells Cody. Spoilers tease that Drew threatens legal action. Could it be when he runs into Jacinda at Bobby's diner? The congressman certainly has a bone to pick with the sex worker who set him up at Nina's and Portia urging, especially now that she's become Michael's alibi. The next time I see the police, I am pointing them to you, he tells Jacinda. Chase is taken aback when he runs into Michael in the sauna, and his brother-in-law brings up the woman they were both married to, Willow. Michael drops a truth bomb on his fellow mansion resident. You don't know Willow as well as you think you do, Michael tells the lawman. Will Chase believe what Michael has to say, or will this make him even more convinced that Michael was the one who shot Drew? Willow meets with her new attorney, Alexis. She seems to have a hard time wrapping her head around the fact that Alexis is doing anything for her, because she drives her lawyer to threaten to walk. You don't want my services? Say so now, Alexis tells her. Will Willow wise up and take the win? Gio returns to Sonny's place after his grandfather asks him to come by, and soon finds himself dealing with his grandmother Lois. The person who betrayed you is me, Lois insists. Will Lois convince him to give his mother Brooklyn a break? General Hospital Police Detective Dante Falconeri has had conflicts of interest almost from the moment he first arrived in Port Charles. Since he was shot and nearly killed by his father, Sonny Corinthos, on General Hospital before they knew they were father and son, Dante's job and his family drama have been intertwined ever since Dominic Zamprogna introduced the character on the show. Dante has had to begrudgingly look the other way many times when his father, played by Maurice Bernard, has been accused of one violent crime or another. Lately on General Hospital, the Port Charles police detective has had multiple conflicts of interest while helping investigate the shooting of Drew Kane. None more serious than his brother Michael Corinthos, who has been a suspect in the shooting. Dante is in a quandary after Willow was arrested for shooting Drew, and later accused Michael of framing her by planting Edward Quartermain's missing gun in the room she was staying in at Elizabeth's house. Dante confronted Michael about this on the October 20th episode of General Hospital. After putting his badge on the counter in the Quartermain kitchen, They had it out as Dante asked his brother if he shot Drew himself, then framed Willow. Dante argued that he believed his brother had a stronger motive to kill Drew than Willow did. "You've been at odds with him this whole time," Dante told Michael. "He blew up your family and he stole your wife, and now he's trying to get her kids back for her. I'm trying to get you to see, to grasp the reality that we're in right now." Zamprogna discussed these scenes in an interview with Soap Opera Digest. The General Hospital actor told Sod that Dante knows how duplicitous Michael can be when he has to. "He's kind of doing what he always did. He's just being a little more sinister about it, maybe," Zamprogna said. "But I think Michael has always had that kind of chip, that a ruthless guy or a wannabe ruthless guy." Zamprogna discussed the fact that Michael has an alibi, albeit a sketchy one, as he claimed he was with the sex worker Jacinda that night. Meanwhile, Willow has no alibi except the one made up by her mother, Nina Reeves. Dante also knows that the incident years ago in which he killed Claudia Zaccara to protect his sister Jocelyn has become relevant again. Dante and Michael discussed that in the episode, with Michael telling his brother he regretted taking Dante's advice back then. Dante is also fully aware that it could all be BS, and Michael is the one who did it, Zamprogna said in the interview. Some General Hospital fans have rolled their eyes at the fact that Dante, as well as his partner Chase, have numerous conflicts of interest in the whodunit of Drew's shooting. Between the two of them, they're related to or have close ties to many of the suspects. For instance, we've seen Chase come to Willow's defense numerous times, especially after she was arrested. In real life, Dante and Chase would be nowhere near the situation, and other detectives would be handling this case. But this is Soap World, where the Misha conflicts of interest create interesting drama, and Zamprogna embraces that. "That's part of this business that you've kind of got to get over," he told Soap Opera Digest. "You're obviously saying things to people in places that you never would, nor would you be saying those things to those people. I know every time I do something." Also in those Dante-Michael scenes, Dante brought up how he's seen changes in Michael since he returned from the burn clinic in Germany. Of course, that's a wink and a nod to Gibson taking over the role from Chad Duell while Michael was in Germany. Zamprogna told Sod he didn't know if it an intentional inside joke by the writers, but he did use it to influence the way he played the scene. What did we just witness on General Hospital when Tracy Quartermain got kicked out of her own house? And yes, we firmly believe that house belongs to Tracy because Monica gave it to her. What would even possess Brooke Lynn and Olivia to take Ronnie's side after her big blow-up with Tracy at Brooke Lynn's ill-fated and ill-advised tea party? A woman they just met a few days ago goes off on Olivia's mother-in-law and Brooke Lynn's grandmother, and they just let her? Not only did they let her, but they supported her. They had absolutely no proof that Tracy spiked her drink, yet they believe anything that comes out of Ronnie's mouth. How does she have such a hold on them? Nobody even vetted this woman to learn if she was really on the up and up. Instead, they just take her word on everything and chastise the newly minted matriarch of the family. Tracy is outraged, and so are her fans. GH fans were seeing red on Tuesday when Olivia and Brooke Lynn sided with Ronnie over Tracy and took to social media to express their outrage. There is absolutely no way that Monica left her house to Ronnie, the stranger. Tracy is right, at Crimson Run wrote on X. And I hope Olivia and Brooklyn both have to move out of the Q mansion for a while when the truth comes out because of their disloyalty. "I am not happy that no one is supporting Tracy," tweeted at Paula 30th Road. "Everyone at the tea party is on Ronnie's side, a woman they met a minute ago. Ronnie had been drugged, and they all think that Tracy did it, well, giving her the benefit of the doubt. And yes, I know what Tracy is capable of." Olivia saying, "I don't want you at the Metro Court literally has me furious," said at Makiakin. "Who are you? How dare you? They never have her back, and Tracy would burn the world down for family. I hope when the truth is revealed, and the house is Tracy's, she gives them 24 HRs to vacate, to that." At I Am Sky is ready to Tracy to take revenge, writing, "Every bitch that stood against Tracy today needs to suffer a painful fate." General Hospital, spoilers for Thursday, October 23rd, reveal that Drew Kane will threaten Jacinda Bracken while Michael Corinthos warns Harrison Chase. Willow Tate will also have an answer for Alexis Davis. So there'll be a lot happening in Thursday's GH episode. First, Drew will try to rattle Jacinda during a tense encounter. The next time Drew sees the police, he'll vow to point them at Jacinda, unless maybe she's willing to turn on Michael and help Drew instead. In the steam room, Michael will insist Chase doesn't know Willow as well as he thinks he does. Chase will rush to Willow's defense again, but Michael may divulge reasons why she can't be trusted and bring up all the baby stalker drama. While Michael catches Chase off guard with his Willow slam fest, Willow will meet with Alexis at Pentonville. Alexis will give Willow a chance to back out of this arrangement, so she'll suggest that Willow should say so now if she doesn't want her services. Of course, Willow is desperate to beat the charges against her, and will no doubt assure Alexis that she's totally fine with this. If Alexis can help Willow find a path to freedom, she'll be more than willing to let her new attorney take the lead on making that happen. As for Veronica Ronnie Bard, she'll meet Cody Bell and admit she's always had a weakness for cowboys. Cody will trade introductions with Ronnie now that she's his new boss. While Christina Corinthos Davis conducts an investigation of some sort, Giovanni Gio Palmieri will come back to Sonny Corinthos' place now that he's been summoned there. This will give Lois Cerullo an opportunity to apologize and try to convince Gio that Brooklyn Quartermain shouldn't have to pay for her mother's mistakes. Dante Falconeri shouldn't have to pay either, so Lois will play up how she's the one who betrayed Gio, not Brooklyn and Dante. Lois will hope for good news when it comes to family bonding and will work hard to repair everything she broke. General Hospital spoilers say Lois will speak her mind and try to get Gio to make some updates to his perspective, so stay tuned. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Nathan West and Lulu Spencer's reconnection will begin. Is a new romance brewing that'll complicate things once Maxie Jones awakens? On October 24th, Lulu will meet up with Nathan for a nice conversation. It'll give Nathan and Lulu a chance to bond again, so let's talk about where this storyline could be heading next. GH spoilers say Nathan and Lulu will enjoy some moments of reconnection. Although their scenes will just be friendly for now, it'll be interesting to see if Lulu and Nathan might have a romantic relationship in the works. Lulu was the one who found Nathan's crashed truck and alerted the authorities. Nathan will no doubt end up thanking Lulu for that, but she'll just be glad he's back and okay following whatever he's been through. Lulu's situation isn't exactly the same as Nathan's, but she can certainly understand the concept of missing time. GH fans know Lulu was in a coma for 4 years, so it was tough when she woke up to so many changes. Nathan obviously hasn't been comatose like Lulu was, but he claims to not remember the last 7 years of his life. Lulu may empathize with Nathan as a result and vow to be there for him if he ever needs to talk. This could be the start of Nathan and Lulu forming a deeper bond. The fact that both Lulu and Nathan miss Maxie could strengthen their connection even further. In other words, the writers are offering up many reasons for Nathan and Lulu to grow closer. Will Lulu and Nathan's friendship morph into something more romantic down the road? By the time Maxie awakens, she could face multiple shockers. Between Nathan's survival and whatever relationship might be developing with Lulu, Maxie should get updates on plenty of stunning news. No matter how things play out with Lulu and Nathan, they have some great scenes on the way. General Hospital spoilers say Nathan and Lulu's catch-up session will be worth tuning in for and could set the stage for their bond to evolve. So don't miss what's ahead. General Hospital spoilers hint that Carly Spencer may have a fake Jason Morgan meltdown and betray her BFF to dupe Jack Brennan. During Carly's visit to Steinmauer in GH's October 22nd episode, Valentin Cassadine gave her some advice, now that they're joining forces for revenge. Since Carly wants to destroy Jack, Valentin told her the first thing she should do. Valentin insisted that Carly had to make Brennan think she loved him more than anything or anyone in the world. Of course, it's no secret that Carly and Jason have a strong bond. That's been a real problem for Britt Westbourne, who's hesitant to re-enter a romance with Jason since Carly always seems to come first for him. Jason and Carly's connection is powerful, but Carly needs to make Jack believe he's more important than her bestie. If Carly's going to follow Valentin's guidance and truly dupe Brennan, she may have to stage some sort of blow-up with Jason. It's easy to imagine Carly putting Jason on full blast in front of Brennan as part of her plan. Carly might act like she's fed up with Jason's complaints regarding her boyfriend and argue that if he's going to make her choose between them, she'll choose Jack every time. Watching a scene like that play out could give Brennan an ego boost and leave him thinking he's truly number one in Carly's life. Naturally, Carly will have to be careful, or else she could raise Brennan's suspicions during her scheme. This seems like a situation where Carly will have to make sure she doesn't overplay her hand. There's also the matter of how Carly will handle Jason, who came clean to her about Brennan's lies and Jocelyn Jack's USB recruitment. Jason may quickly figure out that Carly's using him as part of a revenge plot and voice his disapproval. Although Jason won't know about the fake identity that Damian Spinelli created or the new alliance Carly's formed with Valentin, he could still have concerns about Carly's Brennan payback. Nevertheless, Jason may go along with Carly's staged blow-up, even if he's worried about the trouble she's getting tangled up in. As a story bonus, Britt might grow closer to Jason if she thinks Carly is pushing him away. Whatever the case, General Hospital spoilers say Carly will have to do something big and bold if she wants Jack to believe he's number one in her heart. Creating a huge spectacle that involves turning against Jason would go a long way toward accomplishing that goal. So stay tuned for updates on any other Carly news. General Hospital recap for Wednesday, October 22nd, reveals that Jack Brennan pitched an immunity deal to Nathan West, while Valentin Cassadine advised Carly Spencer about her first vengeful step. At Sonny Corinthos' house, Lois Tarullo showed up and quizzed him about Giovanni Gio Palmieri. Since Lois wanted Gio to blame her instead of Brooklyn Quartermain for everything that had happened, she pushed Sonny to summon Gio for a conversation. Outside Bobby's, Jocelyn Jacks bumped into Emma Scorpio Drake and unsuccessfully warned her away from Professor Henry Hank Dalton. Inside the restaurant, Gio served up a hangover cure of sorts to Veronica Ronnie Bard, who was at a table with Brooklyn. After Gio got updates on Tracy Quartermain allegedly spiking Ronnie's drink and getting kicked out, he joined Emma for some Dalton talk and a kiss by the counter. Back with Brooklyn, she told Ronnie about arranging for Outback to stay on the Quartermain property. Brooklyn hoped that would bring Emma by for visits and that Emma would bring Gio. As for Sonny, he eventually called Gio and urged him to come back to the house after work to speak with Lois. At Lulu Spencer's place, Tracy woke up cranky on the sofa since Rocco Falconeri and Charlotte Cassadine were being too loud for her taste. Rocco led Charlotte outside on the porch, where Charlotte passed along Valentin's message about how Rocco shouldn't trust Britt Westbourne. Back inside, Tracy swore to Lulu that she didn't spike Ronnie's drink and insisted that woman was hiding something. Monica Quartermain's Will Curveball still felt like a scam as far as Tracy was concerned. A moving truck later showed up with all Tracy's boxes from the Quartermain mansion, so Lulu was taken aback on Wednesday's GH episode. In Anna Devane's office, she gave Britt a bill for all the manpower and resources that were needlessly spent investigating her faked death. Britt couldn't pay such a hefty amount and wondered if this was even legal. Anna suggested she'd be willing to shred that bill if Britt would answer questions in detail. The commissioner wanted to know who was in on Britt's fake demise, what she was doing while hiding out at the Five Poppies, and who was in charge there. Britt lied about working on a skincare product and acted like Pascal was her boss. But Anna didn't buy any of that and ultimately wanted to know if Cesar Faison was alive. Britt lashed out since she was tired of hearing Faison's name and claimed he had nothing to do with the Five Poppies since he was indeed dead. Anna kept trying to pry real answers out of Britt, who finally stomped off looking rattled. In Brennan's office, he showed Nathan video footage of him talking on the phone shortly before his accident, but no phone was found on him at the time of the crash. Brennan brought up his belief that Faison's syndicate was still active and offered Nathan immunity in exchange for sharing what he knew. Nathan fumed over Brennan acting like he was lying about his memory loss and made it clear that he'd never be tangled up in anything related to Faison. After Nathan left in a huff, Jocelyn joined Brennan for a meeting. Brennan showed Jocelyn the footage of Nathan getting grilled, so she acknowledged that Brennan made him angry. Based on everything Jocelyn knew about Nathan, she suggested he seemed like a Boy Scout. Jocelyn also gave Brennan the news about Anna interrogating her earlier. At Steinmauer, Carly posed as Valentin's lawyer thanks to her fake credentials, a dark wig and glasses. That led to Carly's private conversation with Valentin, who was surprised to learn she wanted revenge on Brennan for pulling Jocelyn into the WSB. Valentin put it together that Brennan recruited Jocelyn when she was grieving Dex Heller and figured out he may have tested her through eliminating Cyrus Renaud. Carly reeled as she realized Brennan may have turned Jocelyn into a killer. Valentin was on board with teaming up on Brennan's destruction. When Carly asked what to do, Valentin said first she should make Brennan think she loved him more than anyone or anything else in the world. General Hospital spoilers say Carly will move forward with that plan soon enough, so stay tuned. Here's your General Hospital spoilers sneak peek video for Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. Lois is finally taking the bull by the horns and doing something about the Geo situation because someone has to. Giving Geo space was all well and good, but sometimes you have to take charge and get through to someone who has been avoiding a topic for months. With Lois in Port Charles, so Sonny asks his new houseguest to come home and listen to her. Geo has to finally face the woman who practically raised him and set this mess into motion before he was even born. During a confrontation, Geo admits to feeling betrayed by his parents. Lois tells Geo that the only person who betrayed him was her. Will Geo finally listen to why Lois chose to do what she did? Well, Willow already knows her new lawyer, as she was allegedly taking care of this lawyer's grandchild since Drew was shot. But now we have no idea who is watching Scout, if anyone. Either way, Alexis has a job to do because Drew will now allow her to see Scout. Willow doesn't look too happy when Alexis shows up at Pentonville. In fact, she is a bit combative with Alexis. That prompts Alexis to tell Willow she'll just leave if she doesn't want Alexis as her attorney. When Michael and Chase spend a little male bonding time together in the steam room at the boxing gym, Chase is surprised when Michael tells him that he doesn't know Willow like he thinks he does. This is very true. So does Michael mention that he thinks Willow was the person who ran Sasha and Daisy out of town? Over at Bobby's, Drew runs into Jacinda and issues a threat. He tells her that he will turn her in. Does he want the sex worker to recant her alibi? That would go a long way in setting up Michael to take the fall for his shooting. While General Hospital star Cameron Matheson is ensconced as unethical Drew Kane in Port Charles, the actor is facing a sad goodbye in his future. As much as his fans want this particular relationship to work out with the fan favorite, it appears that it's inevitably going to end. As Matheson's followers know, the actor fostered a dog named Hunter that reminded the star of his late pup, Red. Matheson is living the single life these days, so his social media supporters and pals thought it'd be ideal if he and Hunter made the arrangement permanent. That didn't happen, alas, but Matheson's plans to find Hunter a permanent home didn't work out. So now, the pooch is back living with the actor. It's hard to say goodbye to Hunter, my foster Dobie, Matheson shared on Instagram. But I'm so proud of how far he's come and excited for what's next. We're looking for the perfect home for him. If that might be you, drop a comment below. While Matheson's supporters see him lavishing attention on Hunter and giving him cuddles, the actor says that his schedule and current residence simply aren't conducive to keeping Hunter on indefinitely. My life is so overscheduled, the actor tells Soap Central. With my last Doberman Red, it was so easy. That's when Matheson had a big house with a backyard that he tragically lost in a fire at the beginning of this year. Now I have no yard, he laments. It's just me, and it's so much harder. While Matheson is in Port Charles as he brings dastardly Drew to life, there's no one home with Hunter. The actor knows, though, that someone out there is going to be lucky enough to provide Hunter with a forever home. He's such a good buy, Matheson says with a smile. He needs a family that is around a lot and maybe has a yard and no other dog. He's going to be gold for some family. General Hospital spoilers reveal that at least 4 broken-hearted blow-ups are brewing on the ABC soap. These characters are doomed for devastation, so let's talk about what's ahead in Port Charles. 1. Carly's payback crushes Brennan. We'll start with one of the biggest storylines on GH right now, since Carly Spencer has turned against Jack Brennan and wants to destroy him. Once Carly got updates on Jocelyn Jacks being recruited to the WSB, she was livid with Brennan. Carly is even angrier now that she suspects Jocelyn killed Cyrus Renault as part of that recruitment process. Since Carly is Brennan's weak spot, it's going to hurt when she moves forward with her destruction plot and shatters his heart. Brennan is set to face a crushing blow and lose the one person he thinks he can trust. 2. Britt's secrets ruin Jason reunion. Britt Westbourne seems like another character who's headed for heartbreak due to Jason Morgan complications. Although Britt and Jason haven't reunited romantically yet, things are moving in that direction. There may come a point when both Jason and Britt finally surrender to what they feel for each other again. Unfortunately, Britt's latest chance with Jason may be derailed due to the secrets she's keeping regarding Nathan West and her work at the Five Poppies Resort. Britt hasn't been honest with Jason, so their relationship could blow up shortly after they try to make a real effort. That could bring devastation for Britt if Jason dumps her following all the scandalous revelations. Even if Jason takes Britt back eventually, you can bet there's going to be some conflict and emotional fallout in the meantime. 3. Molly rages over Cody's deception. Molly Lansing Davis and Cody Bell are on the verge of a romance of their own, but it could fall apart due to Cody's deception and guilt. How long will Cody be able to keep a lid on all the wild news he found out at Alexis Davis' house? Cody knows about Rick Lansing's time in captivity, along with Christina Corinthos Davis's role in the crash and the blackmail saga that followed, so he's keeping some huge secrets from Molly. It's just a matter of time until those secrets come out, so Cody may end up suffering for his part in the cover-up. Raging Molly could push Cody away and devastate him in the process. 4. Lucas realizes Marco is a liar. Lucas Jones has put Marco Rios on a pedestal, so he doesn't think his boyfriend would lie to him like Brad Cooper. However, Marco has lied to Lucas multiple times and will continue to conceal shady activities. Marco is far more tangled up in Jen Sidwell's drama than Lucas realizes. This whole situation is going to explode and will inevitably leave Lucas brokenhearted down the road, so Marco may end up distraught as well. General Hospital spoilers say some tough moments are ahead for these romances and more, so stay tuned. General Hospital spoilers update for Thursday, October 23rd, reveals that there'll be a police scare tactic while Giovanni Gio Palmieri's true betrayer takes the blame. Veronica Ronnie Bard's cowboy weakness will also come into play on Thursday's GH episode, so here's what viewers can expect. For starters, Christina Corinthos Davis will go on the hunt for something. We'll see Christina dig for information, so that might tie in with a matchmaking attempt for Molly Lansing Davis and Cody Bell. Speaking of Cody, he'll introduce himself to Ronnie now that she's his boss. Ronnie will acknowledge that she's always had a soft spot for cowboys, which will be a nod to Slezak's former One Life to Live character, Vicky Lord Buchanan, since she married one. At Sonny Corinthos' place, Lois Carullo will apologize for her role in turning Gio's life upside down and beg him to see that it's not Brooklyn Quartermain's fault. Lois will push Gio to hold her responsible for the betrayal instead and start bonding with Brooklyn along with Dante Falconeri. Other General Hospital spoilers say Michael Corinthos will share a conversation with Harrison Chase in the steam room, one that could shake Chase up a bit. Since Michael will try to open Chase's eyes regarding Willow Tate, he may rant about her stalking Daisy Gilmore and anything else that will make her look bad. Speaking of Willow, she'll get updates on the deal Alexis Davis struck with Drew Kane. Alexis is willing to represent Willow now that the restraining orders are being lifted, except for Danny Morgan's. However, Alexis will want to be sure Willow's okay with this news before they go any further. Willow will take almost any legal help she can get, so she'll indeed approve of Alexis defending her in court. As for Drew, he'll face off with Jacinda Bracken and vow to make more trouble for her if she doesn't cooperate. Will Jacinda betray Michael to save herself if Drew offers a solution? Whatever the case, Drew will make it clear that he's willing to point the cops toward Jacinda, so he'll try to scare her with a police threat. General Hospital star Jophiel Love endeared viewers with her portrayal of Violet Finn, as did Days of Our Lives star Carrie Christopher with his portrayal of Thomas DeMera. The two might end up having more in common than beloved runs on soap operas. Christopher recently announced on his Facebook page that he'd be exiting his role as Thomas DeMera at the end of October as he's taking on other roles. He's been doing some auditioning lately, and he posted a photo of himself and Love, who also made the callbacks for a mystery project. Callbacks are when actors who've auditioned for roles get narrowed down to being the final choice. The performers are called back to meet with the show's casting director and, at times, the show's producers and writers. So if Love and Christopher are at the callback stage, they're getting closer to landing a role. Love exited her role as Violet in 2024. She left Port Charles to reunite with her father, Finn. Christopher recently shared that he'd be wrapping up his stay in Salem. After joining the show in 2020, he began playing some challenging material as little Thomas had to mourn the passing of his mother, Abigail. Recently, we've seen Thomas share some poignant scenes with Chad, his father, played by Billy Flynn. Thomas hasn't cared for his dad dating the woman. Chad opted to break up with Kat to keep his son happy. Since exiting GH, Love has continued her role as Cooper on Will Trent. Christopher, meanwhile, is shooting Spider Noir, which is due out in 2026. He's going to appear in Lanterns as Noah. He's also got a role in the family drama series It's Not Like That. Christopher was nominated for a Daytime Emmy in 2023 for Outstanding Young Performer in a Drama Series for playing Thomas. The statuette went to Eden McCoy, and then the category was retired. Fans are still feeling the sting of Violet Finn's exit from General Hospital as she left to join her father, Finn, in Seattle. But fear not, Jophiel Love, Violet's portrayer, has been keeping busy. The young star stepped away from Port Charles in October 2024, but over the weekend, she gave everyone a sweet surprise, a behind-the-scenes peek at her first-ever runway experience. The former General Hospital star wrote on Instagram, "This weekend, I got to experience something new for fun. Literally walking into the shoes of a runway model at the Glam Z Gala in Los Angeles at Glam's Gala. Let me share with you a bit of the experience. I got to work for Leah at Leah.com. Enjoy! Let me know your thoughts. Do you think it would be fun to be a runway model for a day?" She included a video in which she reiterated her caption on camera, cheerfully inviting viewers to come along as she got ready backstage and took her turn on the catwalk. She showed the various clothing awaiting the models and then cut to her modeling class, where she strutted down the runway as if she'd done it a million times. The clip ended with her and the other young models getting their headshots. GH fans quickly flooded her comment section with messages of support, and more than a few said how much they miss seeing her on the show. At Cindy.K. Thomas wrote, "I truly miss you on GH." While at Cappy52 added, "Looks like so much fun. You are missed on GH. Jophiel, I hope you come back to play Violet one day on General Hospital," said at Chiferjueli. At Sprinkles Lorelei shared, "Wonderful. The tea party on GH wasn't the same because you weren't there. Miss you so much." Others focused on how well she handled the runway. At Tracy Williams commented, "You've got that runway walk down." And at Mrs. PJ Carey agreed, "You are a natural." Many echoed the same sentiment. At Robin Metcalf 1958 wrote, "Fun, fun, fun! Need you back on GH." And at Trek Momval chimed in, "You were doing an amazing job. Fabulous you." The love kept pouring in. At Gail Nielsen Mowery wrote, "You are a natural." While at Ronnie2124 added, "Wow, look at you. You look fantastic and pretty as always." One fan summed it up simply. At PeanutBJ7-7 said, "You did great." The fans still enjoy watching the former General Hospital star's career flourish, and they rooted for her every step of the way. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.